Hi everybody, I'm Gary Schneider and welcome to Santa Fe Senior Fit. Today we're going to be looking at supersets and drop sets. What's the difference between the two, how to perform them, and what's the advantage to incorporating them into your workouts, and why should seniors even perform them? So a superset is when you perform two different exercises back to back with little to no rest. By pairing exercises back to back, seniors can build muscle and improve functionality while reducing joint stress compared to heavy lifting in one set. A drop set is when you perform an exercise at a certain weight, then after you complete that set, you drop the weight by about 20% or so and continue on with the same exercise with little to no rest in between the sets. You can also drop it by another 20 to 30% for a third set if you prefer. For each set, for both supersets and drop sets, you kind of want to aim for that 8 to 12 reps. If your primary goal is maximizing hypertrophy or muscle growth in a short amount of time, then drop sets are usually superior. If you have limited time and want to train both muscles and cardio, then supersets are better. They both, however, help with endurance, increasing intensity, and metabolic stress, and breaking through plateaus without heavy lifting. They offer an efficient way to increase muscle strength, boost your metabolism, and improve cardiovascular health in less time. However, I would not perform these type of sets for every muscle group in every single workout, but you can rotate them through different body parts in each workout. For example, you might want to work out and do a couple supersets for back. Then the next workout, maybe a couple of drop sets for chest. Maybe the next workout, a couple of supersets for arms and so on. In short, 1 or 2 supersets or drop sets total in each workout. So first, let's look at the different types of supersets you can perform. There are 4. I'll target the back muscle to demonstrate the first 2 types of supersets. The first type of superset is a compound isolation movement, such as a close grip cable pull down, followed by bent over barbell rows. Here you are isolating a specific muscle, like the back, with 2 exercises back to back with little to no rest. So let me demonstrate. So here I'm on the close grip pull down. You would do roughly, like I said, 8 to 12 reps. We're going like here. And then you go immediately over to an exercise such as the barbell bent over row. Keep your back straight, head look ahead. So that's one example with 2 exercises targeting the back for an isolation movement. The second type of superset is a compound stabilization movement, such as a close grip lat pull down, followed by a single leg, 1 arm cable row to work both the back and some balance. The purpose of this superset is to perform a stabilization movement by balancing on 1 leg while I perform the exercise. Let me show you what that would look like. So again, I'd come over here to the close grip pull down. I'm going to just do a few reps, but you would aim for 8 to 12. So I did my close grip lat pull down. I'm going to adjust the weight for the single leg, 1 arm cable row. So here, I'm going to balance on 1 leg and do rows. So again, you'd aim for 8 to 12 reps on this exercise. Now you could do 8 to 12 on 1 leg, do 8 to 12 on the other, or just do 1 leg, the right leg, do another superset, and then come back and do the left leg. So that's just one example of that. Another example would be doing chest presses followed by push-ups using a stability ball, again for stabilization. A third type of superset is an antagonist superset, where you choose 2 exercises targeting opposing muscles such as chest and back, or biceps and triceps, or thighs and hamstrings. Because you are training opposing muscles, such as pushing and pulling, one muscle group recovers while the other is active. This allows you to maintain higher loads and intensity for both exercises, promoting more muscle growth, and because the muscles are opposites, the active muscle acts as a counterweight, adding in muscle recovery. Research also suggests this method can improve strength endurance. An example I'm going to show you is for biceps and triceps. I'm going to perform barbell curls followed by triceps cable pushdowns. So go over to the barbell curls. Again, you want to aim for 8 to 12 reps. So I won't do all 8 or 12, but you'll get the idea. So you do 8 to 12 for a weight that you feel you can perform 8 to 12. Then we immediately go over to cable push downs and do 8 to 12 cable rope push downs. Keeping those elbows by the side. Try to get full range of motion. And again, 8 to 12 reps. In the above supersets, as I've mentioned, you can shoot that first superset for 12 reps. Maybe the second one is 8 to 10, or if you want to be 10 to 8, but right in that range of 8 to 12 reps. A fourth type of superset is for people looking for pure power, such as those power lifters that you see sometimes in the Olympics. I wouldn't advise this for seniors, but I'm going to still review what that superset is, that type. Here you would perform 2 exercises with contrasting loads, targeting the same muscle, but the first exercise should challenge near maximal strength for 1 to 5 reps, and the second exercise should involve and challenge moving relatively low loads as fast and explosively as possible for 8 to 10 reps. An example of this for legs might be squats, followed immediately by jump squats. However, as I've mentioned for seniors, I would advise against this type of superset since you should not lift anything less than 6 reps. You can certainly do squat jumps, vertical jumps, the second exercise, but I would certainly not do anything in that 1 to 6 rep range. So for supersets, try any and all of the first 3. Supersets and the efficiency of them are best for time-efficient workouts, fat loss, and hypertrophy, which is muscle growth. The method, you perform 2 different exercises back-to-back without rest and aim for 8 to 12 reps in each set. And why it works, higher intensity and faster pace lead to better cardiovascular conditioning and calorie burn. Okay, now on to drop sets, which are one of my favorite routines to incorporate. Drop sets are great for pure muscle growth, maximizing volume, and breaking through plateaus. For drop sets, the method is to perform a set to failure with an exercise and immediately reduce the weight on that same exercise by 20% and continue on to failure. And this is why it works. It forces muscle fibers to work well beyond their initial failure point, resulting in high metabolic stress. And one other tip that you can use on these is you can use these on the last set of an exercise, ideally with isolation movements, lateral raises, leg extensions, for example. In drop sets, I aim for 12 reps on the first set. Then I'll drop the weight to where I can only get out 10 reps. And then I'll drop it a second time to where I can only get out 8 reps. You don't have to drop it a second time. You can just do the first set and then the second set. So when you fatigue the muscle in the first set with 12 reps and drop that weight down, you'll probably only be able to get 10 reps out. Whereas if you did that second set as a standalone set, you'd be able to get more reps in. This is why it is a little easier on the joints, because you're lifting less weight in the second set of a drop set, but still working the muscle to its fullest since it's already fatigued by the first set. So a good example of a drop set is the lat cable pull down. You can also do this with bicep curls. Really, any muscle group you can do drop sets with. So I'm going to show you an example of what that looks like. I'm not going to do all the reps, but again, I'm going to shoot for that 12, the first set, 10, and then 8. So this is what it would look like with a lat pull down close grip. So I would do this first set. Say this is rep 10, 11, 12. I can't get that 13 one out. I've gone to failure. I'm going to drop the weight by about 20%. Then I'm going to continue on. My muscles are already fatigued a little bit. I'm going to do this until I'm probably around that 10 reps. I can't get that 11th rep out. And then this is where you would probably stop, but you could certainly continue on for another drop of 20% and shoot for those 8 reps. And you'll need to play with what weight gets you to those reps. So play with it and you'll find out, and I think you'll really like the drop sets. You can perform, as I mentioned, drop sets for any muscle group just like you can supersets. And I would incorporate both types of sets to enhance your endurance and strength. So supersets and drop sets, 2 routines to incorporate into your workouts that allow you to increase your strength and muscles and go a little easier on the joints. Start light at first and choose 2 exercises that you feel comfortable with for supersets, and you'll be on your way. I hope this video is helpful to you in your journey to better fitness. Remember to check out more videos at my website at santafeseniorfit.com or on my YouTube channel at youtube.com/@Santa Fe Senior Fit. Thanks, and God bless.